This is going to be a complete guide on how you can use ClickUp, and I'm going to share with you all the important things that you need to know. First, I'm going to share with you how you can create your own account. Then we are going to look into settings and administration of our profile. Then we are going to look into how ClickUp works and what you can find in it. And then we are going to dive deeper into hierarchy, and we are going to see how to create projects, how to create different views, tasks, and things like that. So this is going to be really fun, and I'm pretty excited. So let's start. So in this moment, when you are going to sign up with ClickUp, you will end up right here in introduction. So we're going to choose here, what do you like to use ClickUp for? And I'm going to click here, work. And you're just going to choose the options here. So I'm in marketing. Then I heard about from Reddit, and then invite people to your workspace. So if you want, you can just enter email address here, and then you will be able to just invite people. And I'm going to click here, I'm done. Then there is a question if you use any of these tools. So you can choose if you use, let's say, Monday.com, Slack, and things like that, like Asana. Which features are you interested in trying? And you can have options to choose from which things you want to actually choose for you. So I can, let's say, go with tasks and projects. Next. And lastly, would you like to name your workspace? So later in the video, I'm going to talk about hierarchies and how they work. So let's say this is going to be my workspace. It's going to be called YouTube Business. And under those, I'm going to have folders and lists and spaces for specific channels. So I'm going to click here, finish. Okay. And now we just wait. So here we are in ClickUp. I'm going to cancel this. And I'm going to talk to you right now about what you can find here and how the whole process of everything here works, because it can feel there is so much right now. So the first thing that we are going to do together, and what I encourage you to do, is that when you are going to go to the top right on your profile where you're going to have the icon, there under profile you're going to find themes. Let's click on it. Here you're going to find option to change the appearance between light and the dark. And I'm going to choose the dark for this video because I also use ClickUp with the dark theme, only because it's better for my eyes. And if you want to, you can also change the ClickUp theme that is the most comfortable to you. I really like the combination of the dark with the blue. So these are the ones that I'm going to use. So I encourage you to also choose it for you. The next step is that again, when we are going to go to the top right, and we're going to click on the profile, then you are going to find under themes settings. So let's click here on the settings, and let's first set up the whole settings for our profile, and then we are going to continue. So here we're going to find that you can change the avatar, the picture, and if I want to, I can add a custom avatar, and I'm going to upload the image here. So like this one right here. Save. Then I'm going to change my full name. You're going to have the email address. Then you're going to find the password that you can add. If you want to, you're going to have the 2FA here, like with the text message of the authenticator app that you can use. And then you're going to have also option to choose the theme color that we've already did. And if you want to, you can also have a high contrast for increased accessibility. So that's something you can enable. You can choose it for yourself if you like it or no. And then you are going to find the option to change the language and time zone. That if you want to, you can change it from English to different language, and then also the time zone. And this can be also important for you, is that you're going to find the time and date format where you're going to have a start of the calendar week, if it's Sunday or Monday, then also what kind of time format you want and what kind of date format you want. So for example, I'm from Europe, so I'm going to choose this date format, and I like the 24-hour date format personally. So then you are going to find the preferences. So keyboard shortcuts, markdown, and you are going to find a few settings here and there that you can like enable or disable. And then you are going to find a danger zone where you can log out of all sessions, and if you want to, you can even delete your account. So that's about some basic settings for you. And right here, I'm going to like save it on the bottom right. Then under my settings, you are going to find workspaces. With workspaces, you can add a new workspace. So it can be a YouTube business where I'm going to have YouTube channels. Then the workspace is the top of the hierarchy. And there you can have also the option to add like, I don't know, for the family or for different type of business, different type of projects. So that's it. Then you're going to have notifications, where you can optimize it or like even have it as, like, for example, for the inbox, you can have it as a default, focused, or custom. So I can click here custom, and there you're going to find notification triggers, and you can again enable or disable the notifications here. This really depends what kind of work you do. If you want to have notifications, or if you want to like by default. Then also the email here, this is also where you can have only, let's say you want to have focused, keep track of work without attention overload, or you want to have mentions only receive notifications for mentions, or you can even have disable notifications. So then you're not going to get any notifications at all for your email, and only when you are going to be in a ClickUp. And then you're gonna have a mobile here that again you can change between focus, mentions only, custom, and the same thing applies. So let's say I don't want to have task comments, but I want to see only task activity. So you can again choose it, right, for you. And then you have options to choose and integrate it like with, let's say, a Slack and some general settings here. So that's about notifications. It's pretty straightforward what you can do with it. And now comes the next part, and under notifications, you are going to find apps. So here you would like if you want to create your own app, you're going to have options to add it here. Then the cloud storage, where you're going to have enable more cloud storage options. Below will show the app in a ClickUp with Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, or Box. And these are the options that you can enable or disable. Then you're going to have calendar, where if you want to, you can integrate it with the other calendar apps like Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, Outlook Calendar that you can see right here. And if you want to, then you can like connect it with, let's say, Google Calendar. And then you're going to have referrals if you would like to share it with someone. So that's about your kind of like personal settings and how it works. Then the next thing on the top left, you're going to have option to find people. So here you would be able to invite others, and you can just like easily write here the email, and you can choose if that person is going to be a guest, member, guest, or admin. And you're going to choose it right here, like what they can do. So guest cannot be added to spaces, must be invited to folders, lists, and tasks. And admin manage spaces, people, billing, and other workspace settings. And I can click here, invite. Right? Then you can have option, like, because I don't know what kind of account you choose. If you have free one, you can upgrade it. The next thing you're going to find are Click apps. So right here with the Click apps, you are going to find a lot of Click apps that you can enable or disable within ClickUp. So let me just mention a few of those and how they actually work. Is that you are going to have options to, let's say, react to comments using any emoji. So if you're not using emojis, you can disable it. Let's say clip screen recording. Let's say you're not going to record any video at all. right, on ClickUp, then you can disable it. And then you're going to find like custom fields. Add a custom fields to your tasks to literally use ClickUp for anything. You're going to find options to customize task IDs. Then you're going to have default private views, default all new views to private views. So you are going to find plenty of apps, like let's say I want to disable email, right? Or GIF. So I don't want to have any GIF. And you can disable it if you want to. So what I really like is that if you're going to just disable the things like nested subtasks, I will get to it, what it actually means to have nested subtasks. But let's say you're not going to use those. Therefore, you don't have to have so much things on ClickUp. And let's say you want to disable priority, right? Set priority levels and organize tasks based on importance. I'm going to leave it like it is because I want to show you these things, but I just wanted to share with you that here in Click Apps, in the future, you can enable or disable the apps, and I absolutely love this. Because let's say like 80% of these you're not going to use, then you can just like disable them. And if you come back, you can look into it and then enable them. So also like time tracking here. So the next thing is App Center. With the App Center, you are going to find the option to add apps for ClickUp that let's say you want to connect it with Figma, with GitHub, with Jira, with Google Drive, with Salesforce, and many other apps here. This is pretty straightforward. Then under App Center, you're going to have options to also add settings here, where you can see that you can delete the workspace. So a white label that you can have skin ClickUp with your brand colors, logo, and custom URL. Under settings, you are going to find the option to have spaces. So here in a spaces, and I'm going to get soon to hierarchy. By the way, the spaces, they're directly under the having a workspace where you can create a new space here, or we are going to create a space directly on our dashboard, is that we don't have to do it through here. But if you want to, you can like delete the space, archive the space, and you can manage the settings of it. So let's say, for example, that you would like to add different kind of statuses, that you just don't want to have only to do, in progress, and complete. You can have more statuses, and that's something you can do. And then also you're going to find what kind of ClickUps you are going to have with it. So here you're going to find the settings of your spaces. Then you're going to find the security and permissions, where you can like enable, disable the TFA, a single sign-on, session management, and then you can have like invite permissions. And this is primarily for all the security things there that you can find the settings. Audit logs, this is for the enterprise primarily. Then you can have teams. View only users added to teams will be converted to paid users. Task types. So this is also interesting what you can do. So with the tasks can be used for anything in ClickUp, customize names and icons of tasks to use them for things like epics, customers, people, invoices. So as you can see, we have the default ones here, that task and milestone. But if you want to, you can have recommended. It depends on what kind of thing you are doing. So let's say you're in marketing, sales, and CRM, that you can have like lead here, right? And we have gonna have it added right here. So then you can have like leads as it, that you can manage potential clients or customers in the sales pipeline. So this kind of task types you can have. Task type can be like lead or account or campaign or content or a deal. So I'm going to have also here as a content because I'm a full-time YouTuber. So therefore I would just like add it right here. And you can always remove it. And I'll show you later in the video what kind of effect it has that we just added a task type. So then you are going to find the import and exports, where we can import a data from the CSV file right here. where you're going to just like start importing or exporting. Then you can have email integration, where you can sign with Microsoft, Google, Outlook, and IMAP. And then trash, where you're going to find all the things that you've put in trash. So that's about the primary settings and what you can do with it. So let's go back right here. And right now I'm going to show you, in this part, I'm going to share with you what you can find around ClickUp. The first thing first, on the top right, what you're going to find is that you're going to find option here, the create items. In the future, this can be like good, only because then you don't have to go to spaces and lists and trying to find the certain thing. You can do things from here. So you would click here, new, and you will have option to add like a task, a doc, or a reminder, or even a chat, whiteboard, or dashboard. Now I'm going to share with you how you can add tasks and everything. So I'm not going to show you right now in this particular feature, but I just wanted to share with you that it's possible to do it through here, that it's going to save you time. Then right here, you are going to find, this is like, I would call like quick actions. And when you're going to click here on the quick actions, you can choose what are the things that you want to have in this kind of tab here. Then let's say I want to have option to have a chat there. So I'm going to add a chat, and I want to have a calendar, and I want to have the option to add people because I'm going to add a lot of people. But I don't want to have clips there because I'm not going to record the screen. Therefore, this kind of like quick action menu, you can change it to your desire. And right when I'm going to add also, let's say a whiteboard, I'm going to have this menu right here. Then I can click here and open tasks. So here I would see, okay, what kind of tasks I have to do, like to do, done, delegated, or like your work, or even assigned, right? So here you're gonna find the tasks which are, let's say, overdue and also next ones, right? So that's about that. Then you are going to have option to open a calendar, where here first we were in the work when we have the tasks, and right now we're gonna have the calendar. The one thing that I forgot to share with you is that you're gonna have option to add a title, and also like kind of like a manager that you're gonna select right here, and you see the email and local time. So here you're gonna find the calendar, what are the things happening. And of course, even into the calendar in your profile, you can click here and add a task. So you can directly do it in a calendar if you want to. And directly you see right here that if I would like to add a task, I can see also the time right here that I've clicked on. So that's about this part right here. Then you're gonna have, for example, the notepad. If I want to just like write notes here, I can write it. Then, as I mentioned, that this is like the reminder that I can start writing. Then also I can create a chat, and I can add a message if I want to. And of course, I'm going to show you later in the video how you can use the quick menu and things deeply. This is just like introduction into it, what you can find there, right? And then you are going to have options to also create a whiteboard. So that's about the quick menu and how it works, that it can like save you time. Then right here under left side, we are going to find things like home, inbox, and more. What you can do is that if you want to hide this part here, you can always click the collapse sidebar, and the whole sidebar is going to be collapsed. Then I can again click on this button, and the whole sidebar is going to be open again. So first thing first, you're going to have the home. This is when you're going to enter ClickUp, where you are going to appear. Here, you're going to have option to add a recent agenda. So you're going to find things that are like happening within your projects. So assigned to me, my work, personal list, assigned comments, Like just all the things that have to be like, let's say, done for you. Now, on the top right, you're gonna have options to manage cards. First thing first, what you're gonna find here, you're gonna have AI stand up. Then, and if I want to, I can add it to home. I'm going to show you soon what the AI stand up means. Recents, then agenda, my work, and these are just like, what are the things added? So let's say I want to remove assigned to me, personal list, assigned comments, and as you can see, I have much less things here in my home. So this way you can manage the cards, what you actually want to have in your home in the future. The one thing that I wanted to share with you is about the AI stand-up. So when you're gonna click on the top right to your profile, and then under Mute Notifications, you're gonna find Profile. There you're gonna have option to write a stand-up. So you can use an AI to create a summary of a recent activity, and that's pretty much it. So I can click here and track daily progress and insight with real-time tasks updates. So we can generate it. If you're gonna have like, we are going to create projects and things like that, tasks, and then we can write a stand-up, like we can just like track daily progress and insight with real-time task updates, what was actually happening. So this is the option. It's not like necessary that you have to use it, but if you want, you can have it. So that's about that. Under home, then you are going to find inbox, where you're going to have notifications. Then you're going to click more here. And if you want to, this is going to be interesting for you. Of course, I'm going to explain every single one of these later, that you're going to have options to add a doc, right? Then I can click more here and I can add a whiteboard, or I can add goals. And directly right here, I can start writing docs, whiteboards, goals. So these are the kind of like tools and features that you can also use, and you're going to have it in this part right here. So that's it. Now we are going to go together for the search. This is another thing that you can always use on the top, where you can start write and like look for a command or ask a question or search for a task or a project, a space. You're going to find it right here. And that's it. So now I'm going to explain to you how the hierarchy works, and we are going to start creating everything. And now let me share with you how the hierarchy works with ClickUp. So first thing on the top, you are going to find you have Workspace. Workspace is going to be like certain type of organizations. Or let's say I have a business on YouTube, then business with my girlfriend, a family. That can be Workspace. So this is the main thing, even right here, contains your entire organization and all of your work. We recommend having one workspace per organization. Then under that, you're going to have spaces. Spaces can be like YouTube channels. So let's say this is Business Soul, where I have affiliates, where I have sponsorships, where I have consultations with people about how to make more money and be happy in their business. And the second space can be my meditation channel that I have, where I speak about how to practice meditation and things like that. Or when you're going to have your own organization, it can be, space can be marketing, then space can be YouTube channel, or like YouTube channel, Facebook ads, TikTok ads. So for example, those can be spaces, depends on how much things you need to have there. Because if I'm going to have something small, I can have just one workspace. This is going to be business. I'm going to have one space, YouTube channels, and there I'm going to have just like lists, because I'm only preparing content there. It's simple to create, and I would have just lists of all the YouTube channels that I have. So that's a different road how you can do it and what you can do. Then the next thing are folders and lists. So folders are optional but helpful for more complex workflows. And then how it works is to look at that. So let's say the space is going to be this YouTube channel, the Business Soul. Then I'm going to have a list of sponsorship, a list of affiliates, a list of consultations, and then I can have list of clients, right? So then what I can do is that I can have lists of consultations and clients, like strategies, things like that, under one folder. And let's say I have all the marketing strategies for the YouTube channel, I would have again under one folder. So that's something you can do and you can play around with. And then under those lists, we're gonna have tasks, which can be like, let's say, prepare a ClickUp video. Subtask can be, I don't know, prepare a script, prepare a thumbnail, prepare a video editing. And then you're going to have a nested subtask, and I'm going to show right here. Break down big projects even further into multiple levels of nested subtasks. I'm not saying that you are going to use it, but maybe you can see right here that you would need to use it. But you see, this is like what is the nested subtext about. So first, we're going to have the workspace. Then you're going to have everything view, and I'm going to show you soon how the everything view works, but you're going to have all the spaces, everything in it. Then you're going to have the spaces. This is what I was talking about, like YouTube channels, and you see right here. Then folders, and in those folders you will have option to have all those lists. Then under those you have the lists. And in those lists, as you can see, you are going to have tasks. And under tasks, we are going to learn how to do everything together. We are going to have subtasks. So under tasks, we will have option to add a subtask. I hope it makes at least a little bit of sense at how it works. Now, let me show you the whole process in ClickUp and what we can do. So first thing first, I'm going to delete everything that was like created here. Okay, and as you can see, now when I click on everything, we don't have anything here because we don't have any spaces, nothing when we click on everything. So first thing first, right now we have our own workspace, which is called YouTube Business. So when I'm going to click here, new workspace, I can do it, right? So what will you use this workspace for? Let's say it's going to be personal use. I'm done. Next, and this is going to be like family, right? Finish. And look what happened. So right now we had a workspace. This is going to be workspace of family, but I have workspace also of YouTube Business. So we have the two workspaces that you can switch here. And now when we have the workspace, what we're going to do is that I'm going to click here, and we're going to create a space. A space represents a team, departments, groups, each with their own list, workflows, and settings. So my space is going to be this YouTube channel, Business Soul, and description is helping preparation of videos and consultation with clients, how to be more happy in business and work life. Okay, then if I want to, I can also change the icon, and I can have it, let's say, green, and you can change the avatar, or you can even upload one. So I'm going to choose some pretty one here. Let's say this thing right here. And what you can do, only you and invite members have access, and if you want to, you can make it private. Then you will find option to use a template here. That if you want to, I'm going to create everything with you slowly. But if you desire, you can find plenty of templates to choose from. Let's say you're going to have release train, simple sprints, a blockchain ecosystem, class assignments, a run of show, non-profit pay rescue. And you are going to find plenty of use cases and even like template types for lists, 90-day Instagram success checklist, A/B content management testing, all those things you are going to find right here, and you can choose it. So all you have to do is click here, and you're just going to click here use template, and automatically it's going to create in the ClickUp for you. So that's the things that you can do. Oh, it went away. So I'll come here again. Like this, and I'm going to have business soul helping money, and continue. And now, okay, this is going to be important. You have to choose define your workflow. Choose a pre-configured solution or customize to your liking with advanced click apps. So starter, marketing teams, project management, ClickUp developer. So let's say I'm going to have for project management, and these are the things that you're going to have. So you're gonna have starter here, and you see the default views is a list board, task statuses is to do, in progress, complete, click apps are these. But let's say for project management, it's changed. Right now I have default views list board, calendar, gantt, team. Then you're gonna have task statuses that also changed, and you have more or less click apps. So when I'm going to click here on the default views, let's say I'm going to have default views, I want everything because I want to show you everything, but you can change that. And if you want, you can have like templates here. And if you have created it, you would find the template right here. Okay. I see right here everything. Okay. Then you're going to have the task statuses. So this is something that we've already found a little bit of it in our profile in settings. So you have to set up the statuses that you want to have. Of course, you can do it in the future when you're going to have your own space. But if you want to, you can also do it right here where, okay, not started to do. Then you can have the active when you can have the planning, it progress, at risk, update required, on hold. And then done, completed, or closed, cancelled. And if you want to, I can come here that it's not going well, and I'm going to have red, right? I can click save here, and look at that. We have our own active status. I can click here then, apply changes, and now you can have task statuses. Then when we had the views and task statuses for our own space, you will have an option to also add click apps. So right here, do you remember that we were having all those things that you can turn off all click apps? The other click apps that you would find in the settings that you can disable or enable. So if you want to that, you know, I don't want to have dependencies warning. I don't want to have reschedule dependencies, and you can always like look here what it actually means. So tags, multiple assignees, time estimates, all of that you can turn off or like turn all, and then you can like disable or enable those which you need or want. So that's about it. And now I'm going to click done here. Okay. And then on the bottom right, you are going to find create a space. And look at that. So here we are. What happened right here is that everything what we choose, we are going to have right here in a space. And now let me show you how we can create and add folder and lists. So adding folder to our space is simple. All we have to do is here in next to the space, you're going to find plus, and you have option to add a folder. Name of the folder, it's going to be, let's say this is going to be clients, and settings, use space statuses, and these are the space statuses. But if I want to, I can use custom statuses for the specific folder if you want to, and you can use templates or you can make it private. Okay, so as you can see right now we have our own folder, and I'm going to create a new one. And this folder is going to be called YouTube projects for YouTube videos. Create. And as you can see right here, we have two folders in our own space, clients and YouTube videos. So this can be also like, I don't know, you would have it if you can have family, like trips can be folder. Then it can be a folder, the kids, something that you have to do, and things like that. These are what the folders are for. Now here, when we have our own folder, let's say the YouTube video, I'm going to click here, and you have also options to have a doc, form, whiteboard. I'm going to teach you how you can do it later in the video, but right now we are going to add a list. So name of the list is going to be project management videos. Okay. And what we can actually find here. So let's look at that. So first we are going to start from the top. When you're going to go on a top right, here you're going to find this kind of like arrow. Do you see that? You're going to expand the header. That means is that the name of it is going to appear. Let's look on this part first here, what we can find here, and then we will go from top to the bottom, all right? So first thing first, you're gonna have 3 dots here, where you can rename the list, you can copy it. If you want to, you can create a new task, new list, new doc, new form. Then if you want to, you can even change the icon, and look at that, it's changing all of the list icon. That you can change how it looks like. You're going to find then list settings where you can look on automations, and I will share with you later in the video how you can use that. Custom fields and list statuses. Templates. That if you want to have, you can like save the list as a template that you can use in the future if you're gonna have projects that are going to be similar. You can add it to favorites, email to list, or you can even move it. So if you want to, you can move it to a different folder, let's say, or different space. Duplicate it, archive, or delete. Then when we're going to go further, you have option to change the list color to yellow, to red and green, like that. Then you can add a description for your list. Then you can have option to add a list assignee. Also, we have option to change the priority of the list. So right now it's high, urgent, low, or just completely clear it. And if you want, you can just like add dates even to the list, not just to the tasks, and to the lists too. So that's it for that. Also on the top right, I'm going to share it later. You have option to share it with someone. That if you want to share the list, where you're gonna go on the top right here. You're gonna have automations, and automations, as I mentioned, is going to be later. Next to the project management videos, you're going to find options to add a task, and there you're gonna find an arrow. So this is something that I was mentioning before. If you remember, we could in settings add like what kind of other things you want to add, not only a task. So I could add a content, a lead, a milestone. These are the things that we've added. Do you remember that? So now let's say I'm going to have a lead, right? Manage potential clients or customers in the sales pipeline. And look at that. I can add lead. I'm going to like 111 or like Jessica. And I would like here create a lead, and look at that. So right now this is a lead that we have. It's like a different name, but this is something you can do. I will just remove it and going to continue further. So here you're gonna have add a task. So as I mentioned, you can add a task right here on a new, if you remember, but you can add a task right here directly when you're gonna be on a list. And I'm not going to do it this way because I want to do it first here so you actually see how it works in the list. Then you're going to find views here. These are the things that we've already created together when we were creating the space and the folder. So, and the list, right? So we choose these because we wanted to have them on it. But of course, what you can do, you can click here, add a view, and you are going to find plenty of views that you can use. And I'm going to show you every single one of them. Now we can use them, all right? So these are going to be the views that you're going to have. Then next to it, you have option to search directly in the list, hide. So when you're going to click hide here, you are going to close this part here. And then you're going to have options to customize. So here you are going to have multiple things here that you can customize, like layout options that you're going to have show empty statuses. So this is the first thing. So I highly recommend to check out the customizing. Depends on what you need. Primarily, if let's say you have to do here, only because the standard version is that for layout options, you're always going to have only the one, the to do, the first one. I'll just show you right now. Just don't do anything. I will show you and you will get it. So when I'm going to click here on a Kanban board, you see that we have all these statuses, but we don't have any tasks on those statuses. But if I'm going to be on a list and I'm going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, and I'm going to have like this different task, and I'm going to change the status to, let's say, in progress. Look what happened. This task right now is to do. Therefore, the task in progress appeared while having to do, because if I'm going to remove this thing here, and let's say I'm going to click here, delete, the in progress is not there. So this is the way how it can save you time, or like the space in a way, and it's like pre-created, but you don't have to have it this way if you don't want to, of course. So that's where the customization comes. When you're going to click here, customize, and you're going to find layout option here. You're going to have show empty statuses. Then you're going to find the statuses, which one you want to have it. I'm going to right now leave it like this because I want to show you something that you can do with the statuses. Then you're going to have pin description. Then you're going to have description of your list, of wrapping text. Then also task locations, that's something you can have enabled. Properties. Then also we have option, if you can have closed tasks, you can have enabled or disable it. Closed subtasks. And default to me mode means is that next to the filter of me mode, which means is that you're going to have only tasks where you have been assigned. So always when you would come to the list, the default would be is that you would have it enabled. Now, then that's for the layout options. Then you're gonna have the fields here, and I will show you how the fields work soon. Then you're gonna have groups here. So that's all what we can get right here. And then you're gonna have options to pin the view, or private view, or protect view, or set as a default view for the list. So that's something that you can also do. And you can copy link to view, or add to favorites, or you can export the view. So that's about the customization. Then you are going to find here the option to a grouping by. Right now it's by status, but let's say that you want to have it by priority. So if I'm going to have priority, and I would add a task here, 5.2, and the priority is going to be urgent. And I'm going to group it by priority. Look at that, I have only urgent right here. If I'm going to have tags, again, so you can like group it by something if you want to. Then also you can have, if you're gonna have subtasks, you can collapse them or expand them if you can have a lot of subtasks. Then next to it, you are going to find columns. So with columns, these are the columns that you would add on the right side right here, where you're going to see those. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, but we will get to it too. Filtering. Filterings for filters. If you want to have filters to search for something, me mode. This is that's something I've already talked about. So let's say that I'm going to cancel it and I'm going to assign it to myself, and I'm going to click me mode. I'm going to see the assignee here. Then you're going to have, you can search by assignees. Like here, I can click and automatically it's going to search for just me. And that's how that works. And then you're going to have also closed, quickly show closed tasks and search for. So this is, I hope I wasn't too quickly and fast, but this is how the whole kind of like it works. And now we can dive deeper. So now let's talk about the groups here. And then we're going to go to the tasks. So as I mentioned for the statuses, this is why I left it right now like this, because let's say that you want to hide is not going well. So you can click three dots here and you have option to hide the status or even collapse all groups. So I can collapse all groups like this. And so you're not going to have like too much of it. And now if I'm going to click here for is not going well and hide status, I can do it. Also, you have rename new status, edit statuses, collapse all groups, or automate status. All these things you can do with it. And if you want to, you can of course like add a new status to it, right? And now if I'm going to delete it, you have also option to change these things here or like move to add or delete a task, but this is primarily it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to again to customize, layout options, and I'm going to disable the show empty statuses so we have only to do. And now let me show you how you can add a task and how task works. So there are three ways how we can add a task. The first one, when you're going to be here on a status where you can start writing a task. The second way is that when you're going to be here on your list on the top right, and you would click here add a task and you can start writing. And then on the top here you're going to have create items where you can again add a task. So it all depends which way you want, but these are the ways how you can do it. Task name, here you can just start writing. So let's say this is going to be Monday or like ClickUp tutorial video. And if I want to, I can add like task actions, start date status, and these are the things that you can also add primarily here, or when you're gonna write it here, ClickUp tutorial video. But when you're gonna just like write slash, these are like the commands. So let's say I'm going to click assign to me, and directly you're gonna have it. So I hope it makes sense. So I can click always start writing, and just like quickly for the task action to add what I want to do. But all these things you can also do primarily in a task too. So you have option to assign it, change the status, have it as a closed task, add to inbox, due date today, waiting. But I really like the option to have it really quickly what you need to do. So let's say you need to change the priority, you need to add to inbox. So let's say I'm going to change the priority normal. And it's going to change the priority to normal right here. But you can also change the priority directly in the task. So I hope it makes a little bit of sense how it works. So in the moment when you're going to create your task, first let's look with the columns, what we can do right now. And then we are going to edit directly inside the task, all right? So when you're going to hover over the task, I can click here and it's to do, and I can change the status to planning in progress at risk. So not only you can change the status right here, but you can change the status right here. Then you have option to click right here and it's going to be finished. So I can click here and I can move add here to something else. I can click three dots here, set or change, and I'm going to like select the task. So I can select task and do things with it. Now, when I'm going to also click here, I can add a subtask directly to it. And task name, let's say it's going to be write a script, right? And create a thumbnail or record a video. Okay, so these are the two scripts that I have. Then also you can edit the tags. So I can have like YouTube, and this would be a tag for YouTube, and you can then search by it, and you're gonna have tags YouTube. And if I want to, I can rename the whole name of the task. Then you are going to find here the option to have assignee, and we are going to get soon how you can work with columns. But columns, you're just going to change always here for the task. And now let's open the task. So right here, what we can find here. So you can change first on the top left the task type. As I mentioned, if it's going to be content, a lead, or a milestone, whatever you want. So I can have it even as a content if I want to. Also, if you want to, you can add a cover for it. And you can copy ID of it if you need it for some reason. Then you are going to find here the dates. So let's say it's going to be for today. Start date today. Time estimate. Again, I can go like, let's say 1 hour. Assignee, priority, track time. And if it has any relationship with something, with some task, some kind of, it's waiting on something, blocking, custom. So this is where you can add a relationship to it. If I'm going to more tasks, I can link the task together. Then also I can add a description to it, primarily to the task. So let's say this is a ClickUp tutorial video, and look what you can do here. This is insane. So first thing first, you have option to add a table or a banner or a checklist, a button, a column, a template, even multiple options to have a text here. I'm not going to dive even deeper into this part here, but as you can see, there are multiple things that you can add directly for a description of the task. So let's say I want to add a checklist. So this is a ClickUp tutorial video, and I want to have, so like analyze competition, okay? Then also look for some important things to share with people, okay? And now we got it, right? And this is something that I could add. Then you are going to find here also to add custom fields, and you can always like finish it like this. And I can click again / and just start writing different things. I can add a button that is going to move to something. Or I can again / here, and you can add different things. So as you can see, you can do a lot in the description and how it works. And now when I'm going to go further, you are going to have a custom fields here. So these are the custom fields that you can add for the task, but I'm going to share with you how you can add custom fields for everything. But here you are going to find also the custom fields. Then you are going to find the subtasks. Now with the subtasks, what is a fun thing is that you can, again, you're going to find these columns here, but I can open a subtask and same thing applies. So I can add for the subtasks, the nest tasks. I can add for the subtasks, the assignees, the priority. So that's how it works. And you can see right here where it goes, but this is pretty much it. So you can have task, ClickUp tutorial video, and you can open the subtasks that you're going to add here. Now we had the bulleted list here, but what you can do also is you can have just a simple checklist. So I can have it in description for the task. You don't have to have like a checklist, but you can have it right here. So I can click here and write prepare consultation about ClickUp with business owners. Then set up a strategy for promotion. And I have the checklist right here too. So I have subtasks that I can add a subtask even for that. Then you're going to have the description of it that you can write. And even you can add attachments here. So it's pretty intuitive, but I know it can like seems a lot, but it's really clear how the navigation works. So now when you're going to have the task here on the right side, you're going to find the activity. Let's look at that. Then you can have also option to add links, where you're going to find links here. And here is this is like link task, waiting on something. So you can, if it's going to wait for something else, for example, for write a script. So this task is waiting on write a script task. And when it's going to be like kind of completely done, then I don't have any relationships here because the write script has been completed, right? Does it make sense? And that's how like this thing works. Now, when we are going to go further, next to the share, you are going to 3 dots. Here you can option to add it to another list, favorites, lineup. You can convert it to list, subtask. You can change the task type to something else. You can even remind yourself. Remind me, let's say tomorrow at 5, right? And you can have like reminder for the specific task. You can merge it, move it. You can, as I mentioned, you can create a relationship with it. This is something I've already done here. And then you can have custom fields that we will add, and you can have section tabs that I don't particularly use, but you can have it too. And that's it, right? Then you can at least make it favorite, minimize the task, switch the layout to like full screen, to even like sidebar that you can have it right here, but I don't really like the sidebar. But that's another thing that you can do. And then you can share it with others. So you can click share, and you can invite by name or email, or you can copy the link and send it to someone. Okay, so that's about a task. Now, after finishing this part of the video, you'll know exactly right now how to add the tasks. So the next step that we are going to do together, we are going to learn together how to add a columns and what kind of columns you can add. So to add a columns and fields is simple. The first way is that next to the subtasks, you're going to find columns here. Then you can add the columns to your view right here. When you are going to click on it, you have option to find multiple fields here, like assignee, a due date. Many of them are kind of like that you are going to find them when you are going to create a list. But then you are going to have option to add a comments or assign comments, or who was it created by, date closed, date done, dependencies, linked docs, linked tasks, sprint points, sprints start date. All those things, there are option for you to have. So this is the first thing. Now you can also click plus here, and you can create a field. So now we would option to add a columns, but let's create like a lot of fields here. You can always hover over it, and first thing is drop down. So let's say the field name is going to be, I don't know, difficulty, and drop down I'm going to have options is going to be easy. Then I'm going to have option medium and hard. So you can always also change the colors. And then I'm going to click here, create. Automatically, you can see that we have the field difficulty, and I can change the option to, let's say, medium and easy, and this can be hard. I'm going to make this closer. Then you can click plus here again, and the same thing. So with the text, you're just gonna write the text. With the date, mark important days to display on the calendar view. Then you can have like text area. This is the same thing as a text, but this is going to give you the option to write a longer text. Labels, So like YouTube, Instagram, what kind of social it has. You don't have to click for it right now. I'll just give you the quick presentation on what kind of field it does and how it works. Then you can have the progress updates. So you would get like a quick summary of task activities over past 24 hours, 3 days, 7 days. And then you're going to find a checkbox here. So I'm going to add a field name, let's say won't go for lunch, and I'm going to click create, right? And I'm going to have checkbox or no. So this is like pretty simple. Then again, let's go further. You're gonna have drop down what we've already done. Then you're gonna have the email. So this is also simple. So this is great for if you have the client and you can just like simple write there the email address. Then you're gonna have the files here. So add important attachments to items. So let's say that to every client or every YouTube video, I want to have just a file and create. And let's say I'm going to work with someone, and someone is actually, let's say I'm going to add a subtask. So I'm going to add a subtask, which is going to be YouTube thumbnail for this specific video. Save. And here is going to be YouTube thumbnail, and look at that. So here I would click here on a file, and someone would add a file and upload a thumbnail, for example. And I would come, if someone is working on it, I would come to it and I would like, let's say, download it. So then the next thing here, I can click here, add a task. No, I can click here, add a field, sorry. And we got also formula. This is also simple. Use simple or advanced formulas to calculate and learn important insights from your work. Labels, they've already perceived. Location. This is also great if you have clients and you have to, let's say, travel to them and you want to know where they are from. So you don't have to like call them and ask them where they are from. You would have the location right here. Then money, important find fiscal informations. So let's say it would be like cost, and you can change if it's a type money or something else. And currency. So I can have like for the YouTube thumbnail, the currency is $10 right now, or record the video is going to be 0. And if you can have multiple costs for the project, you will be able to see right here. Of course, if you want to, like in the future, delete the field or you don't like it, so let's say I want to delete go for lunch, all we have to do is hover over it and right click on it, and there you're gonna have options to delete a field. Yes. So this is the thing that you can also do, just delete them. And of course you can you can move them. So even when you're gonna take the column, let's say I want to have file in the beginning, or cost in the beginning, or like the difficulty I want to have right here. You can have it. It's okay. It's easy. So this is the next thing. Then when I'm going to click plus here, you are going to have options to have the just numbers, not just money, just like plain numbers. So let's say this would be the length of it, or if you are in the construction or in finances, you would just be using numbers a lot. Then you're gonna have the people. This is something I've already done. Phone is also good if you're in a CRM and you want to have it. Then you are going to find the progress. This is like automatically track the completion of tasks using subtask checklist and assign comments. So if I'm going to have for the main task, and this would be a progress, the automatically depends on the subtask that have been a status to complete it, right? So, or I can have it as a manual. Scale. Same thing, look at that. And I can use the scale like that. Look at that. Then on the top right, again, I'm going to have a different thing here. So I can add ratings. This is simple. Rate, rank, or size items using emojis. Relationships. So this is also that we've already done for tasks, but you would see it right here in a field, is that in the columns, that you can like add relationships between the tasks. Roll up. So look up or summarize important fields from other tasks, link through the relationship. So if you have connected two different tasks, you would have the time right here. Signature. This is interesting. Approve work, sign off task, or knowledge received by capturing signature, including in form submission. So this is also interesting one that I don't particularly use, but maybe also you would find it interesting. Look at that. And I can have my own signature. Like, this is insane, to be honest. And what you can do is you can like change the privacy for the signature, right? That this is really insane that like only you can do it. Huge thing. And then when I'm going to click plus here, you can have option to have a simple connection between two work items and voting here, and then also the website. Then when I'm going to click here the voting, what to choose, okay, create, and look at that, someone can vote here for it. So that's another thing that you can actually do. So that's about the columns. Of course, you can move them, as I mentioned. You can make them closer like this and smaller, so you have more space. So that's how the columns work. I hope you get the point of it, at least like this kind of like introduction way. I can, in the end, if you want me to, I will dive deeper into the relationships and into the rollup, so you get a better idea. You know what, I'm going to explain it right now. So the relationship, so relationship name is going to be just tasks, and you can relate it to the tasks between. So you can have a task between any task in your workspace or tasks from a specific list. So let's say this is going to be task from specific list or any task in your workspace, it doesn't matter. Okay, and to the main task, I can choose different task. So let's say it's going to be this one, record the video. So right now we have a relationship between these two. Okay, so right now you see we have a relationship between these two tasks. Now in this part, I'm going to share with you how we can use a board view next to the list view. So when you are going to be here in a list, and let's say you're not going to have the board view right here, all you have to do is click always here on the plus view and then search for board, the Kanban view. So here I'm going to click on a board, and how it actually works is really simple and similar comparing to lists, but it's like a Kanban. So what you can do is, let's say I'm going to add a task and I'm going to write here Asana tutorial video. I can click save here, and you can always open the task and you can edit it. So that's how it works. And what you can do then is, let's say I'm going to move the Asana tutorial in, or like ClickUp tutorial video in progress right here. You can also add the task directly to add risk update required. It doesn't have to be, let's say, in to do. And now when I'm going to look here on a list, let's see this. Do you see that? So right now I have one in to do, Asana tutorial video, but the second one is in progress. When I go back to group, I can see it right here. Also, important thing, right here when you're going to be in board, you can group it by status, but if you want to, you can group it by priorities. So you can have the priorities of, let's say this is going to be the low, urgent, high, normal, low. Do you see that? Or if I want to do, I can click here on a group and I can go by difficulty. This is something that we've done. So I can have it by easy, medium, hard. And if I want to, look at that, I can expand my subtask. Then I'm going to see the subtask right here. So that's about it, and how it's like really simple and intuitive how the Kanban board works in ClickUp. The next one is Team View. Now Team View is also pretty intuitive, and what is actually Team View about is that you can actually find here the workload that people have. So you see right here that I'm going to assign Asana tutorial video to me, and let's say I'm going to have monday.com tutorial video, assign it to also me, and then let's say this is going to be next video Jira tutorial, and again I can assign it to this person right here. Save. So we have these right here. Now when I go to team, look at what happened. So we can see the workload that not done is 3 and in progress is 1, and this person right here got only to do 1. When I would go to board, and let's say I'm going to move this thing here to update required, look what happened. Right now we see that the workload of people of the team is that, okay, he got update required in 1 tutorial. So this is also pretty intuitive what you can do with it. So I just wanted to share this for you regards the team and how does it actually work. So I hope it makes sense. And I can always click here and I can add a task directly for the person. So I can click here and add a task and just edit the task for that specific person. The next one is how we can work with calendar and gantt. So the calendar is also pretty intuitive, where you're going to find all the tasks that you have a date for. So if I'm going to back to the list, and let's say I have the date created like 14 November, and I can have let's say you would have a due date or things like that, you are going to find it in a calendar. Now I can click always plus here, and you're going to find here the start date, right? So if let's say I'm going to be in a list here and I'm going to monday.com tutorial, and here you're going to have the dates. So let's say it's going to be from Friday to start date is going to be Friday and end date is going to be Sunday. When I'm going to make the video, then I'm going to have it. And when I go right here and I go to calendar, look what happens. I can see it right here. Friday or Saturday, Sunday. So that's how it works. It's pretty intuitive. So what you add in the tasks, like Jira tutorial, and you are going to add a date, then the dates are going to be here in a calendar. Of course, you can change it to days, to weeks on the top left, to even months as we have it. And of course, you can always add here the plus here, and you're owning the task, and that task is directly connected to the day that you are adding the task. So you don't have to look for it because it's going to be directly the start date and end date, what we've chosen on the task in a list. So I hope it makes sense. You can always, if you want to, you can set a recurring. So let's say if you're gonna have ClickUp, but for personal view, let's say every Tuesday they're taking up the trash. So I would have it in my ClickUp that every Tuesday I have to pick up the trash and give it to them. So this is the bin, right? So this is the thing that you can do with the calendar. Now, next to the calendar, you're going to have the gantt view. And this is where you're going to find all those days. So let's say this is the ClickUp tutorial video, and I can make it longer. And this is the project management videos. And here it's also going to be a new video. But if I want to, I can schedule a task right here. So the same thing. I can see Jira tutorial, but let's say I'm going to add task right here that I see, okay. And I can make it again longer. And I can add a task. So this is going to be Basecamp tutorial. Create a task. So as you can see, we don't have it right here anywhere because we don't have the dates for it. So if we are going to add, let's say for the Basecamp tutorial, I'm going to open it and I'm going to add a date for it. So let's say it's going to be start date like this. Look what happens. It's automatically here. So this is something that you can do. Also, of course, If I'm going to move it, I can take it like this. And when I'm going to open it, I see the relationship. One is blocking, Jira tutorial. I'm going to open the Jira tutorial and I'm waiting on Basecamp. So as you can see, what you can actually do is that you can create relationships between the tasks in a Gantt view. So that's how the Gantt view works and what you can do with it. I'm not using Gantt view that much, so I'm not like a professional to it, but I understand the basics, how it works. I don't really need it for my work, but I just wanted to show you how it works. And yeah. And look at that, right? So I can just come here, right click, 3 dots here, I can delete it completely if you want to. So that's it. But if I'm going to change the dates and I'm going to remove them, you can always schedule the task here. So when you're going to have the task created here, you can hover over the calendar and you can click here and it's going to automatically schedule it for you. I hope it makes sense. So that's what you can do with it. And I can take it like, right now Asana doesn't have any dates, and I can take it and move it. Then I can create relationships. And I'm going to be right here and it's going to be like that. And it's going to be to that. So when I'm going to open Asana tutorial video, to blocking. So blocking Monday.com tutorial and Jira tutorial. And when I'm going to on the Monday.com, it's waiting on Asana tutorial. And Jira tutorial is waiting on, again, Asana tutorial. So that's what you can do with it. Of course, on the top left, you have the option to change today, week out of it. And here, right here, sort, filter, me mode, that you're gonna have only you show up. So the filtering is the same as it was like, for example, in calendar, similar ones. And also combination with the list. So that's for about the Gantt. The next one that I'm going to talk about to you is a timeline. So with the timeline, this is pretty straightforward to understand. You are going to have dates here and also the task for how long they are going to take. So here you're going to see, like, for example, 12, 20 to 23rd. Then let's say I have the Asana here that I can open as a task. And again, I can move it like for 15 to 22. And of course, on a top left, you can always switch to today. So let's say you're going to be in really far, like here, and I'm going to press today. What is going to happen is always going to put you in today position. Then you're going to have the day here, and you can go with by week or by even month, and you can schedule it by that. And that's pretty much it about the timeline. It's straightforward, simple, and effective. The next one is activity. So the activity is also pretty straightforward. With activity, you just know what is actually happening on your list. So that's about activity. And then you're going to find workload. So workload is kind of, for me, similar to the team, but a little bit different, because in here you can find like team members, simple workload here, and here you're going to find like to do, in progress, update, required, like what is actually happening for the people. But in workload directly, you're going to have, for example, this is 20 minutes out of 8-hour capacity, and you're going to have like scheduled here and what is actually scheduled for every single day. So you see the Asana and ClickUp is right here when I'm going to open it, and you can actually see what people are actually working on. So that's about the workload and how it works. That's like pretty straightforward, at least in my opinion. The same thing, you're gonna have the time estimates. You can be based on the tasks or also time estimates, and you can have it by 2 weeks or bar straight up month. And you see right here that this is like the weekends and these are the days. So that's about the workload. In the next ones, I'm going to talk about mind map, table, and map. So with the mind map, how it actually works is that you are going to have a list as a main thing. Then you are going to have, these are the tasks that we've been creating, and you can always open the task here, right? And this is like the ClickUp tutorial video, Asana tutorial Monday.com. I can always click plus here and look at that. What happened is that right now I see the subtasks. So this is straightforward, and if you're gonna have like a lot of tasks, a lot of things, then you can see everything like that. And what you can always do is that, wait a second, I can click here, or like click here, and I can click plus here, and I can add even in my mind map the task. So I can write here, like, what is Basecamp tutorial, right? And look at that. And I have another task created directly in the mind map. So that's a thing that you can do. And then I can click to the Basecamp. And let's say that I can just like open it and add a subtask, or click here on the plus. And when you are going to click on a plus, then you can simply add here, again, write a script. And look at that. Right now we have the mind map, and even in mind map, if you're interested in doing that, you can work there. And I can add like this, another subtask, and that's pretty much it. So that's how the mind map works. Also pretty straightforward and easy to understand. The next one is table. Now table is similar comparing to the list, but it has a different structure. So with a table, what you can do is that on a top left side, you can group it similar to list, like by status. Then it's going to change like this. Or what you can do, same with the list, you can remove the status, and that means is that it's going to be just tasks. Now with the table, don't be like scared when you would like add a table view and you don't see any of the existing columns or fields. So what you need to do is pretty straightforward. You're gonna click add a column on the right side, and when on the bottom right side, you're gonna find add existing fields. So now when you are going to click on add existing fields, here you are going to find all the hidden fields that are all existing, but they are not in the columns. So what we had the cost there, also we had the file there, see? And let's say we had the time tracked. All those things that we had already, you can just add here. So let's say we had also difficulty, right? And you see that we've chosen medium and easy for those two. And even in a list, when we're going to look at it, we see easy and medium, right? So that's something you can do. Now you can add the fields, like complete new fields if you want to, but of course you can add the existing one from the main table, and that's how we can do it. This is similar comparing to Airtable style of columns, and I really like how it looks like. And I like also the table. If you are interested in working with that, maybe you're gonna like it. The last one of these I wanted to show you is map, but for that you need to add location field. So field name is going to be location. Okay, and now when I'm going to go to list, and I'm going to move right here, this is tasks, but let's say I'm going to have add existing fields, and I'm going to write here location. I'm going to enable it. So we have the location, and now I'm going to Bratislava. That's where I'm from. Okay, and now when we go to map, and let's see. Do you see that? We see right here, and this is where I'm from. the capital city of Slovakia. So that's about how the map works. Also pretty straightforward and simple. You're gonna find locations. Of course, you can just add there the address and you would have it like that. The next one I'm going to share with you is how you can set up a form for ClickUp. Now, setting the form, all you have to do is click plus view here, and then you're gonna have more views and you're gonna find right here, form. Now, when I'm going to click on it, you have options to, with a form template, or create a custom form to fit your exact needs. So you can have like feedback form. I'm going to choose the feedback form and I'm going to talk about that so you know how the whole process works. And okay, how does it work? Is that first thing first, you're gonna find the editing here and preview. That you can click here on the preview and you're gonna see how it actually looks like. And when you're gonna have the editing, you see the two questions here. So this goes to task name and this goes to task description that a person would have. Now let's say that it's going to be something else. I don't know what kind of form you would like to create, but on the left side you are going to have the fields. So let's say that I want to add a priority. So all you have to do is from the task, you're going to have priority and you're going to drop it. And here you're going to have priority. If I want to, I can change that. If you want to, you can have it required or no required. You see where someone fills out where it goes. And you can have like a logic, I don't have access to that. Is like if answer is, then do something, and you can remove it from the form. So that's pretty much it. Then I can also choose difficulty. And now see is required. So when I go here to the preview, you see that, okay, I'm going to choose the priority. Then I'm going to have the difficulty. And it's pretty straightforward how the form works. But of course, I don't know what kind of form you need, but that's what you can do. And then let's say you want to add a cost. So these are the custom fields. And then also someone is going to write it. And then I want to have signature. So let's see right now how it looks like. So we have the difficulty, the currency, urgent, high, normal, low, topic of feedback, and signature. So you see right here that what you actually have in a list, that's when you can create your own form. Now, on the right side, you see list to create a task. So right now, when this feedback form is going to be filled out, where it's going to be the tasks, because it's connected under this list. Then assign tasks to. So what will happen is that automatically, when I can do it because you need to business plus for it, but you're going to, let's say you have support, that someone is going to fill the form, automatically support is going to get notified and they got like assigned to it. Then use a template, redirect the URL. I don't have business plus, I can do it. Then you can have the primary call that you can change, also can change that. And if you want, I can also disable the ClickUp branding, but at least I can create the feedback form. And you have like also all other things here, like add a custom field, add reCAPTCHA to form, show link to submit another response. Also, the next thing I wanted to share with you is that you are going to find the option to see that it's published. I can click settings on the top right and I close it or no. And then I can also copy the link and I'm going to paste it. And this is the form. Then I can fill out. So that's pretty much how the form works and how you can create it. Of course, when you're going to add a list and you're going to add new task field or a custom field, then you would be able to add it to your form and then use it to get the answers that you need. So, and the data. So that's pretty much about the feedback form and what you can do with it. The next one that I wanted to share with you is how you can use docs. So again, you would click plus view here, and here under gantt, or where you're going to find it somewhere, you're going to find doc, write notes, share documents. And this is really pretty straightforward. This kind of like reminds me Notion. So let's say I'm going to have a doc where you're going to have some important information that you can start writing something. So YouTube ideas, I can write it like that. And then if I want to, I can just like press slash. And these are the things that you can add there. So if you want to, you can add a subpage, a template, ClickUp list, table, just a pure table, checklist, toggle list. So I can have it like that. See? Then I can again slash that you're gonna have a numbered list, banners, heading, mention a person, views here that you can add like ClickUp list or ClickUp table to it. And I'm going to have, let's say, YouTube videos and project management. See, and I can add directly that list to the text. So that's something you can do. And I can shrink it right here and expand. So I hope I'm not going too fast, but this works like similar to Notion, and also Monday.com has this too. What you can do with it is that you can just like have your own doc for the file, for the list, and then just like start writing and sharing things there. Then of course you can also add a button, columns. So like you can have 2 columns right here. And I can add a heading, mention a task, mention a person. And then this is like the second column. And if I want to have a banner, I can add a grid banner. So you see that you can kind of like do a lot with the docs. And this is like the straightforward introduction into it. Also on the right side, you're going to find an open right sidebar that you're going to have option to change the font. Also, you can change the font size. Page width can be full or like default. And then you can have also applied typography on all pages. And you can cover image and have that if you want. That's pretty beautiful. Subtitles, sorry. A sticky table of contents. You can protect the page and protect the entire doc. Then you can have some statistics here like, word count, characters, a reading time, and also focus mode. You can block it on just have a page. So that's the things that you can do. Then also you're gonna have relationship references to what it actually has to, like kind of relationships. This is something that you can do. Templates, that if you want to, you can save it as a template, or you can look here for the kind of like existing ones. And you see right here that this is something that we have. This is the YouTube ideas. And then there is a doc of it. Show 4 pages. And here you're gonna have like a different page and January. And also January. So these are like the pages that if you want to, you can have like templates. And that's pretty much how it works. And you're always gonna find the pages right here on the left side. So these are the templates. And then if you want to, you can even export the doc to like PDF, HTML, if you want to like present it or even print it. And you have options to export like only this page or all pages. So that's pretty straightforward on how that works. And then what I want to show you is that I'm going to just like click here for like the adding a tags to it. Then you can have options to make it favorite, add a comments, or even trade a doc. So these are the things that you can do and how it works. and how the dogs work. The last thing that I wanted to share with you is how you can use Whiteboard. So using Whiteboard is pretty straightforward by clicking here View and then just looking for the Whiteboard and what we can actually find here with the Whiteboard. So with the Whiteboard, you are going to have option to have a select item. Then you can have hand. So with the hand, I can move around whiteboard when you just press and hold. Then you're gonna have like a tasks here. So let's say I have the ClickUp tutorial video, and this is the task that I've added. Also, let's say that I want to add a dog here. So I have right now the dog, and I want to move it. So I'm going to again choose a hand, and let's go select item, and I can move it down here. Then what you can do is, let's say you're gonna have the draw option, and what you can find here, like this is insane. So you have option to draw, and you can change the size. Then also you have option to have a highlighter, and even when you're gonna have a draw, you have option what kind of you want to have it, like this or this. That's a nice heart. And this one here. So you can have like whatever lines you want. Then you're gonna have, you can make it red. And that's what you can do. Then you can also have change the size of it, the color, what kind of line it does. The highlighter, this is similar thing. So let's see. And then you can have eraser. And then you can have a laser. Do you see that? So this is good for presentation. Look at that. It just like moves away. And you can also use the laser. Then you're going to find the shapes here, and you're going to find plenty of shapes here that you can add here. So let's say I'm going to have like small, medium, a large, extra large. So when I'm going to have a large here, look at that. I can have it like that. Or let's say I want to have like this. And then you can like change the shapes. If it's going to be like small, then you can change the color. And then even you can have an option to have align style. So you can have like multiple of them. And then you're gonna have also to change the font, because you can like write in it. And you can change the text and things like that for the whiteboard. So I can come here, I can have it extra large. I can change the handwritten, the font. They don't have many here, but you can do it. And you can change the color, the arrange text. So that's the things that you can do with it and how it actually works. Now, when you are going to have the symbols and what you can edit the shapes, you have option to add an arrow. So if you want to connect certain things here, so let's say I want to add, again, look at that. So I can have this kind of arrow, then connection like this, and have it connected like here. Then I can again choose here. And I'm going to connect these two. And you can actually see when you are connecting the shapes with each other, then it just like lights up to different color. Do you see that? And that's how it works. And now you see like this one is moving with it, around it. So that's how the arrows work, and you can have like ending and things like that. Again, look at that. It's moving and it's moving with that. So that's about it, and that's how the arrows work. You can also change the color of the arrows and also what kind of line it's doing. And that's about like the arrows and how the arrows work. Then the next thing is that you can have sticky notes. So pretty straightforward too. You're gonna choose the sticky note. You can choose medium, small, or extra large. Like this. Or I can go like this. And you can start always writing there. And then you're gonna have just like a pure text. This is pretty straightforward. On a bottom right, you're gonna have text here that you can change to red, yellow, green, blue, purple. And you can start writing. So also that's how that works. And then when you're gonna go even further, you're gonna have the frame. This is interesting. And you can have frame like that. Then let's say I'm going to add also there, and look at that. So we have the frame, and you can have things in that frame that is going to move together. But of course, if I'm going to click here, I can group it. So this is another thing that I wanted to share with you, is that when you want to use the whiteboard and you would like to group certain things, you're just gonna grab it like here with the mouse one, right click on it, and you have option to lock it and you have option to group it. In the moment when you're gonna group it, you can just move it all together. Again, I'm going to click on it, ungroup. Then you can copy it, you can duplicate it. So all these things you can do. And now when we are going to go further, you can have image. And if I want to, I'm going to just add here image of myself. And again, I'm going to add it to frame, and I can move frame. And then you are going to have options to add the templates. So if you want to, you can even add the templates of the whiteboard. So let's say you want to have cause and effect. Use template. And that's something you can do. Then on the left side, you have all these options. Then adding a text, adding a sticky note, and see the templates right here. But I don't know why I'm not capable of seeing it. Maybe I just did some kind of like mistake. Don't really understand that, but okay. So when we were okay, so you have options to add the template. I don't know why I wasn't able to see that, but that's a thing that you can do. And then you can also undo. This is important that you can find like undo or redo. And I'm going to try to use different templates, so maybe it's going to work out. So let's say go to market strategy. I hope it's going to see. Don't know why it's not working out. Maybe I'm just doing right now some kind of mistake. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. So all I had to do is go right and click here, fit to screen. So right here, you see how it works is that you are going to actually have all these things here. Then you can check it out. And you can use the template if you desire to, of course. And that's pretty much it about the template and what you can do with it. I really like the whole whiteboard structure and how you can use it. And then you can actually, you don't have to use like Miro or things like that. You can just like use ClickUp. So for me, like the whiteboard is good. And that's pretty much it regards the views that I wanted to share with you. So I showed you the table, the board, the calendar, the doc, the gantt, the list, also the form, the dashboard. We're gonna get to it. Timeline, activity, workload, mind map, team, chat, map. And yes, the dashboard could be also important. So I will show you that. So with the dashboard, you're gonna have the statistics. And you can have the dashboard by itself, but you can also have the dashboard primarily for your list where you're going to find the unassigned, in progress, completed. And this is like pre-created dashboard for you on what you're going to actually find here. And just like the data, that's how would I describe the dashboard of what is actually happening, the activity, the workload, task due this week. And that's pretty much it. So doc, calendar, list, gantt, table, board, form, dashboard, activity, whiteboard, workload, timeline, team, mind map, chat, all those things we've done. And that's pretty much it regards the views. And now I'm going to talk about the left side that we have right here and every single thing, how it works. So as I mentioned, the first thing is home, where I'm going to find the reasons. The lineup keeps your most important task in one list. Agenda. And you can, of course, on the top write manage cards. That you can have even like reminders here. And you can just like optimize the cards as you want, right? You can move them. And that's it. Then you're gonna have the inbox. The inbox is pretty straightforward. If you can have like notifications or like other or snooze or clear, here you're gonna have it. Then the next one is docs. So with the docs, we already done it and we create a doc, but here you can also create a doc. When on the top right, you would just like click here, create a doc, and there you would find like your docs right here. So when I will click here, create a doc, I can start writing. And you would just find it right here in the docs. So that's like about it. And I already made early in a video on how you can write a document. And I encourage you to even use templates if you want to. Then under doc, you're gonna have whiteboard. Again, this is something that we've already done, but here you're gonna have like a straight up access to it. And same thing, you're gonna have the whiteboards that you've created. And you can always go to the top right side and click here, new whiteboard. And then you can use it. Then you're gonna have the goals. So with the goals, you can make your goals a reality, create the goals, break them down into measurable targets and track progress in real time. If you want to, like, you can have it. I'm not a fan of it because how I do work is that I don't really have goals in my life. I just do things that I just provide value to others and I want to help others, but I'm still going to do it. Let's say I'm going to finish a video, right? A goal name. Then you're going to have owner is going to be me. And who has access to this goal? Let's say it's going to be me. Okay. Is there a date this goal should be completed by? Let's say 30. Okay. And description. So I just want to finish a video. Now I'm going to press OK. And look at that. So now just we had a goal, and targets are specific and measurable pieces that must be accomplished in order to reach your goal, right? So that can be write a script, set up a thumbnail, or record a video, or edit a video. These can be like the targets for finishing the video. So target name. So let's say it's going to be write a script. Again, you would choose an owner. And then choose a type, if it's going to be number 1, 2, or if it's going to be a task, add the task or list to your target. Or you can have like we start and have like target as a unit. Or true or false, done or not done. Or currency. So I can press here OK. And then I have it, right? So this is something that you can do. And if you want to, you can add more targets. Then let's say this is going to be record a video. This is the owner, me. And let's say it's going to be, if I would have like even the track, I would like the task, the track completion of tasks. And start target 1, okay. Look at that timeline, and you have it right here. So now what you're going to do is that when you're going to have the goal and you want to finish it, all you have to do is click here and finished. Save update. Look at that. Now we have it 50%. I can click here, record the video, and target 1. Okay. I can add a unit that I can increase by 1. Save update. Wow, finished. So this style works different, because let's say target is going to be 10 here, then you would have like a 10 push-ups or something, you would add it right here as a goal. So here you got it. So this is how the goals work. Now I'm going to show you also more of these that they are there on how you can use these. So the next thing is a dashboard. So in a dashboard, this is something I've already done, where you can click here new dashboard, and this is similar to whiteboards or docs, where you can have all the data regards the list that you have. Then you are going to find here that you have options to add a clips. Now the clips, all you have to do is click here, create a clip, and you're going to find it on the top right. Look at that. So you can go to add a microphone, full screen, and you can just click here, start recording. And you can allow this time and which screen I want to record, this one. And it's recording right now. So how it's actually recording and how the process works is that on the top right, you are going to find the option to reset it, pause it, or cancel the recording, or stop recording. So let's say you're going to do something that you want to show someone, and then you would click here, stop recording. And now its clip is uploading. And look at that. So right here, when I'm going to open it, I have my own recording, which is huge. See? And that's how you can have recording. So this is also pretty straightforward. You can also add a comment on the bottom right to it. And that's about the clips and how we can use it. Under the clip, you are going to find the pools. With the pools, so see who's online, what they're working on. Right now, no one is online because it's just me in the ClickUp. But here, you would just like find people online, and that's pretty much it. Then the last thing I wanted to share with you are timesheets. So timesheets, you can have like your all timesheets where you're gonna have the entries. So I can click here, and let's say I'm going to add this task, this task, and look at that. So now what I can start to do, I can start timer. So right now it's Friday. So I can either click here, add entry, And look what I can do. I can enter a time that is going to be 1 hour, Friday 10 to 11, notes tags. I can add also mark as non-billable, save, and I have 1 hour here. But let's say that I want to start a timer for this task. So I would click here, start the timer. And right now I have a timer. But look on something. In the moment when I started the timer, on the top right, I can see that it's tracking time right now. Do you see that? So that's about the timesheets and how you can track time for ClickUp if you're just right now focusing on a task. Now I can click here and click pause. And look at that, we have the 1 minute here. And then you're gonna find the total, how long it actually took. So that's about it. And that's for the timesheets. And of course, like when I'm going to look here, you can create a reminder. And I can add also track time here. So you can always even not go with the timesheets, but if you want to, you can track time right here when you're gonna click here, and you are going to find that you can add it to pin if you want to. So that's about it. So you can use also the track time here. The last part of this video, I'm going to talk about how we can use the top right bar, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. So right here, you're gonna have new. So the new is like the super quick way how you can, for example, add a task. And the same process applies that you're going to select a list here. That let's say you can have recent here, or let's say I want to choose this list here. I'm going to add a task name. This is just a task. Then you can have like assignee, due date, and you're going to have like the fields here. And if you want to, you can create even a new field directly for that specific task. So that's something you can do, and then you can also get attachments. So that's about it, the task. It's pretty straightforward. Of course, if you added more task types, you can have like options to add a task type. Then you can have the doc here. Then you can start writing the doc if you want to, and you can click here, start writing, and you will be writing the same thing that we created before. But you have it like this, and then it's going to just like save in the docs. Reminder. This is like, okay, I want to reminder name, call my mom. And then I'm going to have it for, let's say, tomorrow. I can add a time for me. And you can have like on the due date, 10 minutes before, 1 hour before, don't notify. And you can have it like this. For the reminder, also pretty straightforward. Then you are going to find a chat here. So you can create a chat for, let's say, the workspace, or just for the space if you want to. A whiteboard, again, you can create a whiteboard, and the dashboard, all these things we've already done, but you can also create it right here. The next step is that I'm just going to enable all of these so I can show you. So I'm going to pin all, and I'm going to show you what each does. So first thing first is the profile, where you're going to find today tasks, all tasks that's been done, calendar, activity. So this is just profile for you, what has been actually happening, and what are the things that, the tasks, the work that you have to do, and that's it. Then you are going to find options to open the calendar, where you're going to find all the tasks on the calendar. Then track time, this is for what we already done, but you can also track time right here. Let's say I have the 8-hour workday, and you can enter time and start working. Then you can have also option to open a notepad and start writing right here, like a notes for you. Then this is the same thing as a reminder that we've already done. Create a chat we've already done. Create a doc we've already done. Whiteboard 2 we've done. And open people, you can invite, like find people here. See? and inviting people is going to be on a bottom left. So that's pretty much it. The last thing is create a dashboard. If you want to, you can just like create a dashboard for ClickUp, but that's pretty much it. So I hope this video helped you and provided you value on how you can use ClickUp. It was a fun to make and I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it too. So thank you very much and have a great day and goodbye.